Welcome! Another music related box set unboxing to do with you today. Two of them, in fact. Here is the box in question, or the outer packaging I should say. So if you cast your mind back, those of you with good memories, to about 6 months ago, over the course of 2 videos, I unboxed the first 3 in the Depeche Mode CD singles box sets. All of Depeche Mode's CD singles in chronological order, 6 CD singles in each box set. Got a couple and unboxed them, and then managed to get, I think, singles 3, the 3rd volume. And then that was it really, because those 3 sets were pretty cheap really. I think I paid around £30 to £40 each for them. And then the last 3 in the series, the price jumps up, but I did really want them. I wanted a complete volumes 1 to 6 collection. Well, I'm one step closer to that now, as there is 2 of the sets in here. Now these would have cost about £80-ish each. Why volumes 4 to 6 are so expensive compared to 1 to 3, just a case of rarity I guess, but I'm now only missing 1 volume, which is volume 4, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to pick that up from somewhere, and I have seen it around and about. It's just a case of, you know, actually paying the money to have it. But as this place that I ordered these from had both 5 and 6, I thought I'd get these first. The website I've ordered from is called Werkstraat Records. That sounds like it's in Germany. You'd be wrong, that's a shop in Surrey, of all places. I think they're like an electronic and dance music specialist. I saw that they had a Discogs marketplace store, and then I clicked into their profile and saw that they had a website as well, so I just ordered directly on the website. Let's have a look at Depeche Mode Singles 5 and Singles 6. No more in the range came out after that, so as far as Depeche Mode CD singles box sets is concerned, the 6th volume is the final one to date, and I can't imagine that there'll be any more. Let me figure out the best way of getting into this. It's quite a big box really for 2 CD singles boxes, but I suppose this may have been the most appropriately sized one Werkstraat had to hand. Here we go. Oh, a lot of extra packing material in here. Very well packaged, as looks like they've come individually bubble wrapped as well. Oh, showered with little bits of cardboard there. Not to worry, I shall pick all those up after I've finished filming. Right, let's unwrap these. So that one is number 5, so we'll look at that one first. This one, of course, will be number 6, volume 6, however you want to say it. There we go. Nice shiny sort of foil lettered, or numbered really, not letters. 5 and 6 on that side, in the same sort of uniform design as the other box sets. As I say, I didn't pick these up any earlier than kind of 6 months after the first 3 volumes, because these were expensive, you know, more than double what I'd paid for the first 3 really. But I always intended to have a full collection. Yes, I'm kind of doing it out of order now because I've still not got volume 4 at the time of me recording this, but I do hope to be able to show you that in a future video. Anyway, let's have a look at the contents, shall we? So if I can remember how these open, yes, it's just a slip case, and then we've got 6 individual CD singles that are probably gonna all be numbered as well, just following on in the range. Oh yeah, and there's a little booklet as well. This being a pre-owned product, obviously, I don't know if these are going to be out of order in any way. They could well be, but I'll just put them down there for a moment and give you a quick look at the booklet. I don't think there's much to see in these really, as there wasn't in the first 3. Lists the singles that are going to be included in here, Don't think that text is showing up particularly very well in this light, as it's more sort of like a lightish grey on white. I think I'm going to have to put my glasses on now anyway to tell you about the tracks and stuff on each of the singles. Let me don the old bins, have a slurp, and look at these 6 Depeche Mode singles. I don't own any Depeche Mode singles, either on 12-inch or 7-inch vinyl or anything other than the CD singles box set. In fact, Depeche Mode, although they're one of my favourite acts, they're one of the few that I've actually not collected on vinyl, and I did touch upon why I thought these CD singles sets were probably better value overall for me than the individual 12-inch single box sets that Depeche Mode had been releasing for the past few years. They look absolutely lovely, but some of them are so expensive, and 12-inch singles in boxes, they'll take up loads of room. CD singles don't really take up hardly any room. Right then, we seem to be in the right order, so we start with single number 25. This is Policy of Truth. All of the CDs follow this sort of uniform look here, with the kind of chain link motif going down. We've got a little bit of extra packaging in there. I don't know if that was meant to be in there or whether there's some in all these cases. But to give you the track listing, it's 1 Policy of Truth 7-inch version, 2 Khalid 7-inch version, 3 Policy of Truth Beatbox, 4 Policy of Truth Capital Mix, 5 Khalid When Worlds Mix, 6 Policy of Truth Transcentral Mix. I wonder if that's by the KLF. Yes, yeah, I can see them in the credits. 7 Khalid Remix, and 8 Policy of Truth Pavlov's Dub. Policy of Truth, of course, is a single from Violator, and a good one at that. Next one. Yep, they've all got these tiny little bits of bubble wrap in them, which is good, really. I mean, obviously, the owner or proprietor of Werkstraat has really taken good care in packaging this safely. This one, number 26, is World in My Eyes. I'll give you a bit of a look at the artwork there. Track listing: World in My Eyes 7-inch version, Happiest Girl Jack Mix, Sea of Sin tonal mix, World in My Eyes oil tank mix, Happiest Girl Kisser mix, Sea of Sin Sensoria, World in My Eyes Dub in My Eyes, World in My Eyes Mode to Joy, Happiest Girl The Pulsating Orbital mix. That looks like that's actually credited to The Orb, who I think may have been Orbital before the Orbital we know as Orbital. I'm saying Orbital too long. But yeah, Alex Patterson, he was the guy behind The Orb. Number 10, World in My Eyes Mayhem Mode, and 11, Happiest Girl The Pulsating Orbital Vocal Mix. So 11 tracks on that. There was quite a few tracks on the previous single, 8. So they really extended EPs. You think of a CD single and you think of something with 3, maybe 4 tracks on it, but I think all these have got quite a few on, so they're almost like sort of mini remix albums, really, in a way. Then we get on to the Songs of Faith and Devotion era, and Condemnation. Of course, that album came out in 1993. It's number 29 in this series. Condemnation Paris Mix, Death's Door Jazz Mix, Rush Spiritual Guidance Mix, Amyl Nitrate Mix Instrumental, and Wild Planet Mix Vocal. Then Condemnation Live, Personal Jesus Live, Enjoy the Silence Live, and Halo Live. 9 tracks on that. Apologies if I seem to be rushing through these, but we have got 2 box sets to look at after all. Walking in My Shoes is CD single number 28. Hopefully you can see the artwork relatively well as I'm holding each of these up. Walking in My Shoes 7-inch, My Joy 7-inch, Walking in My Shoes Grungy Gonads mix. I think it might be Mark Stent, Depeche Mode and Flood. There we go. My Joy Slow Slide, Walking in My Shoes, extended 12-inch, random carpet mix, anadynamic mix, oh god, and ambient whale mix. Yeah, they like their variety of mixes, don't they, Depeche Mode at this stage. 8 tracks on this single, or EP, whatever you want to call it. So the penultimate single in singles 5 is I Feel You. Something I've not really been showing, but you see alternative or original, I suppose it'll be, artwork for the singles in the inside sleeve there. To go through the 8 tracks on here is I Feel You 7-inch, One Caress, I Feel You Throb Mix, I Feel You Babylon Mix, and all the rest are also I Feel You. Life's Too Short Mix, Swamp Mix, Renegade Soundwave Afghan Surgery Mix, and Helmet at the Helm Mix. Well, probably goes without saying that I think nearly all of these alternate mixes I've never heard before. And the last single in this box set, In Your Room. Once again, the obligatory tiny little piece of bubble wrap. 12 tracks on here. In Your Room, Zephyr, Higher Love, Adrenaline, In Your Room, Apex, In Your Room, Jeep Rock, Higher Love, Adrenaline, In Your Room, Extended Zephyr, In Your Room Live, Policy of Truth Live, World in My Eyes Live, Fly on the Windscreen Live, Never Let Me Down Again Live, and Death's Door Live. Wow. So, quite a few live tracks as well as remixes to go at here. So that's your 6 singles, couple from Violator and the remainder from Faith and Devotion. I need to get these back in their box. Also not forgetting the booklet. And we move on to the final volume, the last to date of the Depeche singles sets. Once again, take the outer slip case off. Another little booklet that's gonna, I'm sure, be near identical design wise, but just have obviously the updated track information in. Yeah, quickly flicking through that as there's really nothing much to speak of with it. So, 6 more CDs, lots of listening material here for me. I think these will be in the right order. Well, first up, number 33 in the series is Home. No, these are out of order, yeah. In fact, I don't even know if those in box set 5 are out of order, but this is certainly not the first one in this. It should be number 31, I just looked. But anyway, I can sort the order out later on. I'll just read out, now that I've got this out, which tracks are on here. And it's Home, track 1, and then 5, I think, mixes of Home, Air Around the Gulf, LFO, Noodles and Damage, Jedi Knights and Grantby mixes, and then Barrel of a Gun Live. That was the first single taken from the 97 album Ultra, and It's No Good Live. So yes, this one is number 31, and this one I think is going to be Barrel of a Gun. I think I did actually have the Barrel of a Gun CD single, or one of the variants of it back in the day, but don't have it now until today in this form. Barrel of a Gun, Painkiller, the Barrel of a Gun Underworld Soft Mix, 1-inch Punch Mix, Underworld Hard Mix, United Mix, Plastic Man Mix, 3-Phase Mix, and 1-inch Punch Mix. Oh sorry, track number 7 from those was Painkiller, Plastic Man Mix, and the 1-inch Punch Mix, which is track number 9, Barrel of a Gun, is version 2 apparently. A lot of kind of fine detail that I know I'm missing here really, so apologies for that. But I'm going to try and get these in a better order. So I'm looking for number 32 here, and that's this one, It's No Good, which of course would have been the second single from the album Ultra. A little look at the original artwork for the single on the inside there. 8 tracks on here, It's No Good, Slow Blow, the Dante's Bass Bounce mix of It's No Good, the Speedy J mix, the Hard Floor mix, the Darren Price mix of Slow Blow, the Andrea Parker mix of It's No Good, and the Motor Bass mix of It's No Good. I'm looking for disc number 34, and yes, here it is, Useless. This would have been the 4th single from Ultra. 10 tracks on this, although the last 2 are videos, so I would say 8 tracks. Presumably it's got the CD-ROM capabilities, otherwise why would they even list there being video tracks on, as they probably would have been on the original single. I can't see any CD-ROM logo on this. I mean, that's quite old tech now anyway, but these came out 2004, so they're, what, over 20 years old now anyway, so not quite as old tech back when they were first released in this box set. Anyway, 8 versions of Useless are the first 8 tracks. I won't go reading all the different remix names and everything, but track 8 is a live version. Track 9 and track 10, the videos for Barrel of a Gun and It's No Good. We also get a list of all the albums Depeche Mode have released so far inside the sleeve for each of these singles, and also lists the DVDs that were out at the time. Of course, they've released plenty more since the original 2004 release. Right, the penultimate single to show you today is the standalone single. Well, it wasn't really standalone because it was the one new track from the singles 86 to 98 album, compilation album that came out in, of course, 1998. Only When I Lose Myself. 11 tracks on here. Only When I Lose Myself, Surrender, Head Star, 2 more mixes of Only When I Lose Myself, a remix from Luke Slater of Head Star, another remix of Only When I Lose Myself, Painkiller, Kill the Pain, DJ Shadow versus Depeche Mode, Surrender, FC Catalan mix, Only When I Lose Myself, Gus Gus short play mix, and World in My Eyes Safar mix. 11 tracks on that. And rather incongruously, but it is what it is, as there's 6 in each of the sets, this would have been the 36th single released by Depeche Mode, but it's the only one, the first one from the album Exciter, but it was the only one that ever came out in these box sets. So kind of a abrupt end to the series without the rest of the Exciter album being represented, really. But it's Dream On, 9 tracks on here, single version of Dream On, 2 versions of Easy Tiger, and then 6 versions, 6 mixes of Dream On. Closes out this look at these singles. Right, there we go. I will just put these back and then give you my final thoughts. Right, so number 6, of course, number 5 we looked at. Really happy that I've got these. As far as Depeche Mode eras are concerned, I mean, this is really more of a completeness thing, but there's lots of bonus tracks, mixes, live versions, blah, 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 that I've never heard before. You know, these are really good value in the fact that they've all got kind of between 8 and 11 tracks on them. So they're rather more than just your standard 3-4 track CD single of the time. £80 each, that was about as cheap as I could find these. Singles 4, that's going to be around a similar price. So I'm going to endeavour to pick that up sooner or later and then have a full collection of these. But really happy, and thank you to Werkstraat Records that I was able to get these today. Not my favourite Depeche eras, the kind of Faith and Devotion, Ultra, into a little bit of Exciter era. For me, Depeche Mode reached their peak around kind of Violator, really, which is represented with a couple of singles in box number 5. But I prefer the early 1980s stuff anyway, which we've basically looked at all those in the first 3 CD singles sets. And please go back in my music collecting and unboxing playlist to watch those if you haven't already. But great stuff there. More for the Depeche collection. I'm going to take my glasses off so that I can look at myself on screen and not be all blurry. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This one's gone on quite a bit, but I wanted to get everything covered quickly but relatively comprehensively, and I'm waffling now, so I'm just going to say a special thanks to all my subscribers and generous patrons as well, of course. I'm going to go now, start listening to the Depeche Mode CD Singles 5, and then eventually number 6. I'll do it in chronological order because that's just how I roll. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next CD box set unboxing video, whenever and whatever that might be. Cheers everyone. See ya.